Yo, what's up, everybody, man? This is the Golden Voice, man. It's your boy Maul, Brews and Boxing. And y'all can hear the goddamn serious tone in my voice right now, man, because we ain't with this bullshit no more, man. And before I even go in deeper, let my boys go ahead and introduce themselves. And I'm gonna let News actually break down what I mean, and then we're gonna get right into it because we was gonna start off with the Canelo Jacobs recap, but we're gonna push that back just a little bit because there's some stuff that we need to speak.
Fuck all
Some
that.
yeah, no, some purple tape Raekwon and Ghostface talking, and we got to get off our chest though, man. So yeah, let me go ahead and let y'all introduce yourselves.
Jesus, I forgot to step in the building. What up, world? This your boy News, representing Ringside Rave all day. Y'all know what it is with me, man. Hey, got the gelato for the night, man. So I'm ready to talk. You know what I mean? I put the Ciroc down so that way I don't stutter. I don't get too aggressive. I got my smooth Snoop Dogg approach so that way you can hear and understand what I got to say about this and the situations that we got to deal with in this thing that we love called the sweet science as a fan of the sport.
Smoke.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Smoke from at Free Smoke Boxing. And let's just say that every day is my birthday cake. And we got a lot to talk about today. And not everything is positive, but let's get to it.
Yeah. What's good, y'all? It's Pascal, the New England representative, and I'm chilling right now with my glass of Zinfandel to wash down this pasta I just finished eating. So yeah, let's get to this.
What up, y'all? You already know this your boy Pete, repping Ringside Rave and Bodega Boxing. And today I'm ready. I'm with the shit. So I got my can of Sunkist, so you know I'm ready to go. When I got the
Oh,
when I pull out the Sunkist, you
yo,
know it's serious biz.
we going orange. We going
Yep.
Trump, motherfuckers.
Man, y'all know this is some serious business. If I'm gonna step aside and I'm gonna let News go ahead and get off on the first topic, and I'm gonna chime in. I'm gonna let him set it off.
I'm gonna mute my mic and throw you, Keith.
All right. All right, man. No, I mean, basically, you know, doing as I do, perusing social media, the social world, see what's going on in the universe.
What do you do?
I just so happened to come across a post
By
from
who?
boxer, a boxer that whose skill I believe in, who I've been talking about since the beginning, since I first seen him. I always talked about how great his defensive talents are and how he needs that opportunity to get to the top. And I'm tired of these dudes ducking him. And Ringside Rave has made many posts stating that as well about how this guy is being ducked, how this guy is extremely talented and needs the opportunity. People need to stop running and give these guys the opportunity to prove themselves.
So you're talking about someone that you've bigged up like several times.
Oh yeah, and still will, of course. But it's just like you see it and it's like the energy's changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the
Mhm.
energy's changed. And it's like when the fighters, as us, we're media, of course. We're media, we report, we're at the fights and things like that. But we're fans first and foremost. I think everybody in the media is a fan first and foremost. If not, why would I be watching you two fight? That's dumb. I can
Yep.
watch people fight out in the street. Of course, we're a fan first, right? So we take time out of our day to report on it, to boost it, to help market, to help promote guys that we don't even know. All we know is we respect their fighting skills. We don't know them from a can of paint. And when fighters get to a level, and not talking about the same fighter, not talking about the same fighter, but just period. It's like when these fighters get to the level when they first get that first bag or when they first get that championship belt, all the stuff they forgot what they did to get there, or
Ooh.
they took it to heart. They took it to heart, and instead of being like, "I'm gonna change the way I'm gonna be a fighter," I'm gonna do exactly what I said I was gonna do when I got there. Instead, they become exactly what they hated on the way up. And then on the flip side of it, it's you have, well, it's a business. It's a business. And then you're saying you're a boss, but then it's a business. So it's like, on one hand, you're saying that you can pick who you fight. On the other hand, you hide behind your promoter. But we know the promoter works for you guys. And it's like you tell the fans, well, it's not up to you who we fight. But in reality, to me, it seems that it is, because boxing doesn't exist without the fan. Without the paying fan, you don't exist. That goes for any sport. That goes for any business. That goes for anything. Without
You
the
know,
paying customer, you don't exist.
Bruh, not to cut you off, but I do notice with a lot of fighters, like before fights, before they got a fight lined up, is I'm my own boss. But once they got a fight lined up, it's like, well, you know what I'm saying? Well, we got to talk to Al Heyman and as that third and Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like they can't pick who they fight. After the fight, and after they won and they get interviewed, then they ask about their next opponent. Then it's just no longer the boss. Then they gotta, well, I gotta go back to my team and we gotta blah 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 blah. So it's that funny shit that I don't like, man.
I'm gonna go back to the drawing board, see what we gotta do.
Nah, man, it's just like, I don't know what. And then let's say this, because, and I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I had a little bit of too much of the gelato, but it's time for me to turn up. I'm talking about Tevin Farmer. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Tevin Farmer. How you gonna say, oh well, the NBA and the NFL, dude, they don't play for bragging rights?
Yo,
right? Of course they don't play for bragging rights. They play for millions. And who do they play for millions against? The best person on the schedule. What are we talking about here? Like, and then they don't get the opportunity to pick. They don't get to say, you know what? I faced the Warriors about 8 months ago. So the rest of this year, I'm going to just go up against the Cavs. I don't want to mess with the Kings because, they got a little talent, right? That they're a little high risk. So I don't want to mess with them. But they don't get to do that.
So
what are we talking about?
I said this to Tevin Farmer because you said what you said to him. I said, if you're barking on Tank and then fight my substitute Irish teacher from 9th grade and then bark on JoJo Diaz but don't have a unification scheduled, how can you talk shit? And he told me to stop hating.
That's what everybody's saying, man. So it's crazy.
That's that's where we're at. I think everyone would say that News and I are fans of Tevin Farmer.
I love Tevin Farmer boxing.
It's not even yet whether you're a fan or not. It's not even whether you're a fan or not. I just didn't see where y'all could be classified as hating with what y'all was saying. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're a fan of somebody or not, that was just bringing up a legitimate point. And for to be able to hate her, that's just a cop out. But what do I know?
I feel like that's a reflection on boxing as a whole.
Yeah, boxers, a lot of boxers, in order to be a championship boxer, you got to have a big ego, man. Your ego has to be in the stratosphere. And a lot of these times, the more success you have, the less, the more that you lose control of your reality, of actual reality. And, they think like, oh, okay, now I'm at the top. Everyone's trying to knock me off. That's probably what Tevin's mindset is. And, Tevin is, he struggled. I used to watch some of his fights, like the fights where he's fighting like Ivan Redcash or something like that, not everyone's really trying to pay attention to that. And now he's, he has a good deal now with the Zone. He's making about $500,000 to $1 million a fight or whatever. He got himself his title defenses and he's active, so it's hard to, so yes, he developed that chip on his shoulder, but it's like, I'm going to do this for a little bit, just so everyone else can understand it. But there does come a point where you have to stop all that. Like, he's had, for the most part, he's had a pretty easy string of opponents, after winning that belt from Billy Dibb. That name.
And that was an easy opponent.
Yeah. Right.
And that was an easy opponent. And that's not hating. At the end of the day, people got to define what's hating. Hating is, first of all, it's an urban word. It's a street word. in the streets, we ain't hating, bro. Like we talking real. Like then that's what it is. You know that these fighters that you're fighting aren't the top fighters. You know these fighters you could have beat on your way up. You're a champion. When you become a champion, I don't believe that you're supposed to sit and rest on your laurels.
Gary Russell.
I don't even want to bring up Gary Russell and them, man. Just like even in boxing in general, man. Like a Gary Russell, like you said, man. These guys, they get the belts. Come on, man.
Speak in mind. Don't leave any names out.
Man, it's just the fact that
you
get the belt. No, you just get the belt and you don't fight. You fight one time a year. And then as a fan of the sport, we're supposed to support the sport. We're supposed to tune in. We're supposed to remember you. And then you get mad at us for not tuning in. Or you get mad at us for not showing up. Of course we're not going to show up. We barely know you, dude. Like, you know, like, and it's not our fault. It's your fault. Take responsibility. The only time fighters want to take responsibility is in the gym. Take responsibility for the fact that people don't know you. You're a person. You're a person. You can promote yourself. Nobody can promote you like you. If we don't know you, we don't show up at your fights. We don't buy your merchandise. You know what? That would be because of you. If you want to go out there and you want to talk trash and talk crazy to the people who support you or the people who are responsible for you becoming who you are to becoming, yes, you do your thing in the ring. You do your thing in the ring. But as we all know, doing your thing in the ring only gets you so far. Fans are who make you a millionaire. Your talent doesn't. Fans make you a millionaire. There's a lot of fighters who are is not that skilled who are millionaires because they fight for the fan. A lot of you guys need to remember that.
Who makes fighters money?
The fans. Hey, we buy the tickets. We buy the plane tickets. We fly to Vegas. You can book Vegas. You can book the MGM. But guess what? What if nobody shows up?
Honestly, in my humble opinion, in all honesty, with over the past 4 or 5 years, the fans, in my opinion, is what drummed up the interest in boxing again because everybody got an outlet now. All these fans now utilizing the outlet and all their platform to try to bring boxing back to the forefront, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not getting the fights that we want when we want them, but we still diligently covering the sport. You know what I'm saying? 2019 them gave us their ass to kiss boxing wise, but we still fucking with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
No, exactly.
I mean, like I said, myself. You guys have heard me talk about, people are risk averse. People are not finding the right fights in the divisions. You heard me say that for years, and it's just like, this is the result of it. This is like years. I still saying this back in 2014, 2015 that this shit wasn't cool. This shit was something. This shit wasn't right. And now, we're getting the business part. Like, there's a balance between business and entertainment. And a lot of the boxers, unfortunately, like, they sign up for obviously, yes, we want them to have their brains intact, and to actually be, they be financially secure when they stop fighting. But it also has to be a point where there's a balance where they understand that this is fighting. They realize that they have to fight. That's what they're trying to do. And if you're not fighting or you're not finding the right fights, then people are going to complain. Like, it's a balance, and I think that balance is shifted towards the business part of it, and that's what's making. And that's why today's boxing is what it is today. Bunch of businessmen. No one wants to be a gladiator. Everyone wants to be a fucking businessman.
It's not even that. It's just that things have shifted to the point of where. So in 2019, at least for the last month, but I would say most of the year, we've had fights, whether it be on Friday or Saturday, most of the weekends, and they just don't personally move me like that anymore, just in general, because it's either such a lopsided matchup or one you don't care about.
Right. And unfortunately, it just seemed like in my opinion, I think that's where boxing is gonna go. And it's sad because we got a lot of up and coming boxers like 25 and younger that we been kind of spotlighting and tell people, look out for the ones that we feel that's gonna run the divisions going in the future. But I got a feeling they're gonna get stalled out. We're gonna have to watch a lot of bullshit fights before they all really, mix it up. Because somebody like Teofimo Lopez, like I'm ready for him to really get it in, but like I just don't see it happening like that. As far as them making fights that really can push him to the forefront, I got a feeling it's gonna be more just record padding fights and
Showcase.
then kind of
I just don't want the
exactly.
posturing. I mean, I don't mind the showcase fights if you have all the intentions of trying to fight the best and trying to
Yo,
get to the
News,
best.
Right.
tell me how you really feel.
Like I don't mind that. The problem I have is when you do all the posturing and all the hold me back, hold me back, hold me back, knowing you
Bro.
have no intentions of fighting the dudes.
None.
Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
No,
I forgot. That's
all the
P out there.
fighters, man.
P. Yeah, P. How you feel, P?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I've just become numb to it. I mean, like, I'm not saying I'm happy with the state of the politics of boxing, but it's just like I've come to it for so, like, I've been so cognizant of it for so long that I'm just like, it is what it is. I'm not gonna bother wasting my breath getting mad and arguing and screaming because honestly, I feel like most of the time it falls on deaf ears.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only way that this will ever change, obviously, is that these fighters, like the fighters that are in this position right now, they start losing. Like,
True.
and then afterwards, like, yeah, we got, they're losing. We can't really spotlight them like that no more. We gotta get some new shit up in there. I mean, it's sad to say that, and it also doesn't help too. Like now, like I said, now it's a fighter's market right now. There will ESPN or the Zone, or people willing to throw money at these fighters. Because like I said, especially the Zone now up the ante in terms of what throwing at these fighters, like the fighters that PBC or ESPN don't necessarily want, or vice versa. They get paid. That's where we get the Tevin Farmer situation. Because he was active, because now he's active, he's paid, and he's just like he's in a comfortable position. He's like, no, I think I'm gonna milk this for a little bit.
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't supposed to say anything, but Zone offered me a contract. And I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. No, but like, yeah, no, I get it. Because one fighter, like I said, we can say what we want about him. We always claim we done with him. He don't throw his hands. But one fighter that do be willing to make the fights is goddamn Adrian Broner. Like, I can say what I want about him, but at least I know he'll make the fights. Granted, I'm not saying they're gonna be great fights or he won't win. But I gotta tip my hat to the dude because he will get in the ring with motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like he will do it. I can never say the man is shook.
Well, I'd pick a better example of someone from PBC, like a Badu Jack, who really has.
There you go. Who really rebuilt himself after his loss too.
Yeah. But yeah, Badu Jack is like the rare fighter that actually has fought the best in his divisions. Back to back to back. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to actually find an easy fight for him.
Right.
In the last like 4 years.
Right.
And it's like. And he's an actual rarity in boxing, which is sad.
Yep. And there ain't never no contract disputes, no talk of money when it comes to his name coming up with a fight. Like if you hear his name mentioned in a possible opponent for somebody, it's gonna get made. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
I love the fighters like that, man. I love the fighters that get in there and fight the best, man. That's what got everybody into boxing, man. How can they sit here and pretend like we ain't see Sugar Ray Leonard fight Tommy Hearns, fight Robert Duran, fight Marvin Hagler in the 80s? How can they act like we ain't see that? They didn't sit there and say, you know what, I don't want to fight each other because we might get brain damage. Dude, Roberto Duran fought more fights than all of you guys and is still walking around here regular, drinking, doing his Roberto Duran.
Yeah.
What's wrong with y'all?
Brain damage.
You know what I mean? Sugar Ray Leonard is still around here. He's still got a better resume than all of y'all. Exactly. Tommy Hearns has a better resume than all of y'all twice. And he's still around here. No brain damage. What are y'all talking about, man?
It's funny that you bring up. You said Tommy Hearns has a better resume than all these guys. And he lost to most of the guys, most of the big names in his thing.
Come on,
So,
and you wouldn't
what
know
was I
that
saying?
because right, and you wouldn't really, and that's not held against him because what he fought the best. You know what I'm
you're
saying?
just
Fought him.
talking about like. Come on, man, that don't make sense. That's like me listening to a football player talking up since we wanted to bring up the NBA and the NFL, other sports. That's like me. That's like a football player before he do a game, every game talking about, well, the only reason I slid was because I don't want to get a concussion or CT. Like, dude, get out the field then. You see, you know what the game is when you sign up for it. Y'all gonna use that. The reason for you avoiding the fight is brain damage, but when you want to fight, you ain't thinking about brain damage, huh? Keep it consistent.
Victor,
Like, come on, man. Don't use it as an excuse, man. If you get into a gladiator warrior sport, it's just like getting in the streets, man. If you get in the streets, you know what the consequences are, so don't complain about them.
Exactly.
Get out of here. I'm not trying to hear that no more. I'm tired of people putting money in y'all pockets for y'all to complain afterwards that we not supporting, and then when we are supporting you, you talk trash to us because we want to support you fighting somebody better. That's stupid.
Exactly. Saturday
and
night, man.
then even then, when
Go
you
ahead.
spend $60 on a pay-per-view, and that motherfucker don't sell 400,000, and they
Right.
visit their promoter, like it's something that their promoter didn't do. Like, dog, I paid $60 to $70 of my money to watch you fight when I knew the undercard would be bullshit. Shout out to Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And you guys had the nerve there. So thanks.
Right, like the audacity.
So the way that we're going now, it's like every shot should be taken as such. And yeah, like if you're gonna 12-0 a motherfucker, knock him out in the 6 instead.
Man, it's just that if you're gonna
Yeah,
again,
like
if you're gonna be a boxer, man, respect the
talk
fan.
about entertainment and fans
Respect the
and
fan.
and all this stuff. Like, fans ain't do this for me. Fans ain't do that for me. Fans are the reason that you guys are around, and we respect you to death. But come on, respect us back.
You know what was different about Floyd? He respected his
What was
fans.
that?
You know what I mean? Floyd respected his fans. He didn't throw shots at his fans. He would throw shots at the people, of course, randomly hating on him, but he wouldn't
Right.
just randomly throw shots at his fans.
Right.
And you have to respect the people who are putting money in your pockets.
Yo, Tevin Farmer
You have
called me
to.
a hater. Yo, I'm stressed by that. That's funny.
Hey, what is that? Is that supposed to be some type of lame spin on Heyman or something?
I don't know.
Like a
No,
Heyman, or is it like
no,
a
just like a
head over the
hater.
HAY like that?
No, HATER. Like, yo, you are hating on me.
Oh, like that. Okay, because somebody had said something about a hater earlier, and it was weird. I seen it.
Nah,
And
it's
it
just
was
surprising
stupid.
because it's like, yo, I pay for DAZN, and it's like, stop at 5.
Man, ain't nobody hating
Let's
on
keep
these
going.
dudes, man. Ain't
Nah,
nobody
man.
hating on these dudes. Definitely ain't nobody
Exactly.
hating on no
It's like
Tevin Farmer.
about three Saturdays a month, man. We taking out of time. We could be out doing X, Y, and Z to sit around and watch y'all. You know what I'm
Making more
saying? Like,
kids, making
right.
more money, spending more money,
Mm-hmm.
doing Pat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
I
that
mean,
stuff. What is that?
I mean, going to the moon and eating sushi and shit, dog.
All right. Baklava and shit, man.
Yo, Pat has an Alexa that he tells to get money to, and he's like, "What's Pat's from?"
Yeah.
That's like
Because you
my
know what,
name.
y'all? But you
look,
know
man, I
what?
know it's a business. Oh,
Go ahead.
let
Go
me
ahead.
just say this, man. I know it's a business. I know it's a business, but at the end of the day, you got to realize that it's a business too. Like, yes, as a fan, you do realize it's a business. You do understand that there are contracts involved. We do understand, like, my thing, like, a lot of times they try to play fans like they're stupid. A lot of fans have been following boxing before you even put boxing gloves on your hands.
Right.
Yo,
Like, are
for
you
real.
serious? That's what be killing me sometimes. But we'll leave that there. But a lot of boxing fans know just as much about boxing as you. You may have been in the ring, but your knowledge is not that strong about boxing. As a matter of fact, I would love to challenge a boxer to go boxing knowledge
15
with a
rounds,
fan. They
15
can't
or 12.
because so they're not into that. So
Well, that's example of that, of course, is Deontay Wilder. Whew, his knowledge is like zero.
So I'm gonna just say this: that every relationship you have in life should be reciprocal. And my relationship with boxing is not reciprocal. Yep.
Exactly.
And
and
by that I mean I love boxing, but it does not love me back. Double pause.
I
Not
just
just a single pause.
it's just too much, man. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much business. They make it business. We don't make it business. We made it a sport. Boxing was a
Yo,
sport.
I
Boxing is a
feel
business.
like
Hold on, Smoke. Hold on, because you're taking me to another side. I want to finish this point. Boxing is a business, yes. Boxing is a sport. You're a fighter, so we talk to you as a sport. We want to see you fight this person. We want to see you fight that person. We're not supposed to sway from that. We're not supposed to feel like a person we believe is the best should fight anyone that's ranked number 8 in the division. We feel you should be fighting top 3, top 5 opponents consistently. That's how we're supposed to feel as a fan. That's how we feel as a fan in the NBA. We want to see our players versus the best other players. That's what we want to see. And so that's the sport of it. The business side, we do understand that you got to get the contracts done, the networks and all that stuff has to be done. But at the end of the day, we are also fans, and a lot of us have been fans for a long time. So we go back to the 90s, to the 80s, to the 70s. We've seen the big fights. We've heard Bob Arum. We've heard Don King. We've heard them. We've heard Shelly Fink. We've heard them tell us about things that can be done to make fights happen, and that fighters ultimately have to say so. And so,
Yep.
being that we know that, and then you tell us when the fighters are feeling big and boastful, they tell us how they the boss and they call their own shots. But then when you tell, we don't forget that. So when we ask you to fight another great fighter, we're supposed to want to see that. Instead, you can't get mad about that. Instead,
Right.
you should just, just keep on about your way because the best fighting the best gets you the bigger paydays. That's why Canelo's getting 35 million because he's coming off of 2 fights against GGG.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting 35 million to fight Danny Jacobs. And that's what we know he's getting. We don't even know what he's getting on the back end.
All right.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Canelo. Shout out to Loma. Shout out to Regis. Shout out to Usyk. Shout
Errol
out to all
Spence,
the fighters out
Mikey,
there that are out. Even shout out to Clarissa Shields.
Shit.
Shout out to all the
Kovalev.
fighters. Shout out Kovalev. Kovalev.
nope.
Shit.
That dude
Both
out
of
of
them
here.
Andre Wards.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
my
know.
soldier for a moment. But shout out to all the fighters that's out here trying to please the fan because at the end of the day, you're going to be a legend because we're never going to forget your accomplishments or your resume. You can let these people talk to you now and let you think that fast money is what lasts. But at the end of the day, you're still going to get the same respect and you're still going to get the same money. Shout out to Tim Bradley. You fight the fighters, man. You get the money. Big
Shout
Money
out to
Bradley
Uh,
got more money
Boxing.
than a lot of you dudes, and he got the resume to back it up. That's what you do. Stop playing with
Pacquiao.
me, man.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what? Let's I just wanted to go ahead and jump
woo.
in and be like, yo, actually, speaking of Canelo, y'all know we got to go ahead and review what he did Saturday night in that fight with Jacobs. A fight where a lot of people felt that the right man won, but it was that definitely competitive. But yeah, P, how you feel about that fight, man, with Canelo and Jacobs?
How'd you score it?
So I'll be that guy. I had it a draw. I had it a draw, but I'm more than okay with the scores that because I could see that I thought that there was a couple of swing rounds. Canelo took most of the first half, and then he got tired around the seventh, and Jacobs took most of the rounds afterwards. So
Mm-hmm.
except for I think you gave him like 1 or 2. I gave him the 11th. I remember I gave him the 11th think I might have given Canelo the 12th as well. I don't remember, but I know somehow it ended up being like in my scorecards I had it a draw, but there were swing rounds that I could have given to either guy. So and they gave it to Canelo, so I don't have an issue with it. So honestly, if gun to my head, you had to make me choose who I thought actually won the fight, I would have said Canelo, because Jacobs started too late, and that was his demise. If he had started just a little bit earlier and taken like a round or two, would have won the fight, or at least gotten a legit draw. So, like, if he said, I'm going to review the tape and look at it like later, I'm sure he was kicking himself when he looked at the tape later and realized how many rounds he gave away to start the fight. So
let me ask you this though, and I guess all y'all can chime in. I just want to know, like, why don't Danny Jacobs like own rounds? Like, it always seemed like I don't know, man. It just seems like the rounds that he do win, they're damn near swing rounds. Like, why don't he ever put his foot, like his stamp on rounds, man?
Some of those rounds. I mean, no, some of those rounds at the end were like definitive rounds for Jacobs, in my opinion. So, but go Smoke. Go ahead.
Smoke.
Oh, go ahead.
Or not, somebody else.
No, man.
Again. All right, I'll go. I mean, the fight itself was, it was what it was. I mean, like I said, as mentioned before, Jacobs gave away too many damn rounds. Canelo just did the minimum, because all that, slipping and well, that looked good because Jacobs wasn't really active. And but like clockwork, Canelo gassed the latter half of the fight, and that allowed Jacobs to actually come back in the fight. I like P. I had it a draw too, but there were swing rounds in there.
Sorry to cut you off, Pat, but
I'm gonna cut you off.
I scored it at 7-5 Canelo. It could have been 8-4, but here's the thing: if you give every swing round to Jacobs, you could watch the fight and not say, okay, there's any point in the fight that he dominated.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
There was nothing about what Danny Jacobs did that was a winning performance, if that makes sense. And even though boxing is cut into 12 different rounds, Canelo by round 8 had enough pieces to make a fucking winning pie. Or I'm sorry, a drawing pie. And then he got some shit in the last 4 rounds. And plus, Danny Jacobs, when he switches to southpaw, I don't know. It looks struggle because he's pushing his punches. And I don't know. If he brought the same effort he did against Triple G, I thought he could have beat Canelo, because I don't think Canelo was at the top of his game. I think that was like a 79 out of 100 performance from Canelo.
But
remember Triple G just sat right in front of him.
I mean, Triple G took a fucking lawn seat in front of Danny Jacobs, and he waited for Danny Jacobs to switch his stance and cross his feet up, which was the point in which he knocked him down, which anyone who's seen the fight knows that. But I don't know. Canelo wasn't at the top of his game. Like I said, it was a C plus performance. Danny Jacobs, I don't know.
He wasn't at the top of his game either. Like, I mean,
right.
Another thing with Jacobs,
for him.
Another thing with Jacobs though is he's draining to make middleweight, and I think that again, this like his draining to make this weight had an effect on him, because he didn't have Algeria in his corner with his his nutrition and other shit like that.
Oh,
So he looked flat, basically because he gained too much weight back.
Wait, are we saying he didn't have Algeria in his corner? Pause.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what's it called? We can find out the source of that. But regardless, Pete, how did New York feel about Danny Jacobs' performance, regardless of your crazy draw score?
I mean, everybody kind of thought that Canelo won. So I mean, I that's why I'm like, eh. A lot of people were disappointed at Jacobs. So, but it is what it is. It was underwhelming. Like most people that I talked to said it was pretty underwhelming.
Right.
So
It was, and I think that's what I think that's what the worst thing is for this fight, because we've had, as we just talked about, this year hasn't been, the big fights haven't really delivered it.
Yo,
Have
how many fights
this
have you guys?
is not playing out.
How many fights have you guys fallen asleep during? Like, let's be real.
It
I
depends
don't
how much
fall
I've
asleep.
been drinking.
I don't fall asleep during the fight.
I haven't. The closest
Well,
was the
shit, you
Campbell
haven't.
card.
Pat. Bullshit, you haven't.
But News, I know you've been being patient, man. I want to get
Sorry,
your thoughts too.
Oh man, so I didn't catch it live, so I ended up catching it afterwards. And I mean, Canelo, no, he wasn't at his best. Danny Jacobs was at his best. I mean, before the fight, I told you he was a B+ fighter. I mean, I don't know what people thought he was gonna do.
Right.
Canelo, I thought he probably could land, but if we run back the last cast when I was talking about Danny Jacobs, which I was saying like I'm not even that interested in the fight, is because Danny Jacobs couldn't really do nothing with Canelo, and we've seen it. He was missing because he just couldn't box with Canelo. He started catching up at the end when Canelo gassed, but I don't know. That's like catching up with a cheetah after it slows down. I mean, I don't really think that Jacobs did anything impressive to me. I didn't think he won the fight. I think that he could have tied. It was another fight that I had scored like that where I said there's no way possible the dude could have won. At the very best, he has a draw. But that's how I seen this fight. I couldn't see Jacobs actually winning this fight at all.
Right.
He didn't seem like a winner at the end.
I just it felt like he won. You know what I'm saying? Like
he didn't have
even
that
his
champion look in his eyes at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't have that same energy he had after the Golovkin fight, where he felt like he actually won that fight.
It kind of felt like he didn't leave it all out there when he fought Canelo. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't feel like he just like, yo, I got to do whatever it is to win this. I just didn't feel that way when I was watching the fight.
Guys,
and I don't think he was like drained or anything. He made sure he didn't make weight. I mean, he can say he's going to go up to 168, but I don't know.
No, but
I don't know what Danny Jacobs
did that weight because he was just big as hell for no reason. Again. But I can respect it though, because he kept the same energy from the Triple G fight. Because before I was just like, this nigga's cheating, but he kept the same energy, so I gotta respect it. But either way, he's playing these weight games, and it did affect him like that because he was flat. He wasn't sharp or anything like that. And I don't think he really came in with any type of plan. Like he was the bigger guy. Bully Canelo, do something. Don't try to be no fucking outfighter.
That's right. I'm like, how big are you? Because you sure fighting like you the smaller man in there for the first half of the fight, man.
I mean, Canelo wasn't sharp. He's bringing a deep race and everything. Like, go in,
that's true.
Make him gas. Do something.
If he couldn't bully him or JJG, who's he gonna bully at 168? Because JJG don't even want to go to 168.
Eubanks,
so
maybe.
I mean, Eubanks.
Because he's from England.
I mean, he may beat Eubanks, but like I don't see him getting the bully style, and like he going to have to get on his boxing out at 168.
Yep.
Like you wasn't really a bully at 160. You were big, you were strong, you were explosive, but you still got put down by Sergio Mora.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you went life and death with Darian Chinko.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
so
sorry, I am.
And that's what I said before the fight. So I don't see how he was gonna beat Canelo.
Yo, so I've been a little tied up, aka birthday cake. But if we're talking about the actual results of the fight, the rounds that Canelo wanted to fight, Canelo won.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that fifth round was crazy.
Yo, so there was like one or two good rounds, and more so than anything, Canelo gets better at defense every single time he fights. It's crazy because if you watch the slow motion replays, pause. Jacob's best shots, Canelo rolled or slipped or something of that variety. And it's just wild to see his development as a fighter, especially because he's taken moves from Floyd, who
Oh
obviously,
boy.
yeah, Floyd schooled Canelo, and Canelo is taking like those Floyd moves, like that front foot jab and things of that nature. So, like I
Eighth round
said,
was crazy. It was the eighth
yeah,
round. My bad.
I mean, Canelo, his medium game showed a ton, and so I just
Right.
wish Danny Jacobs would have tried to get in the next gear for
There is no next
fucking.
gear, man. Listen,
He's just a
Do you
B
think?
fighter, and that's just what it
listen,
is.
man.
Do you guys
He's a
think?
22
You
point per game scorer. Smoke.
No,
He's
but
not going to give you 30. He's
He's
22.
there.
dude.
Yeah,
Hold
right.
up.
He's Michael
He's the
Red.
sixth man off the bench.
Yo,
He's Michael Red he's DeRozan at best. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Canelo gave him a light 30
Right.
So, what's it
on
called?
an off night.
He knocked Peter Quillen, who at the time was 84 out of 100 prospect or established fighter. He knocked him all the way the fuck out in like one round, maybe two, I forget. And so, like, that counts to me as like a B plus fighter. So, do you guys just see that Jacobs, outside of landing one good shot against unprepared fighter, is limited?
He just plateaued against Triple G. And that was just what it is, man. And even then, it was just like I don't know. I think he just fought the fight of his life against Triple G, and that was just his crowning moment.
What about
After
against
that,
Jamal Charlo? What do you guys think, Danny Jacobs?
First Jamal Charlo, first Denny Jacobs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jamal still got to show me something at 160
Yeah.
Yeah, I
himself.
got
I would still favor Jacobs over Charlo, but
Yeah, as of right now, because of what I the unknown in Charlo, and because the last time I saw him, you know,
He should have lost.
right,
Yo, Charlo was getting punched in the face by a fucking chemistry teacher.
right.
this chemistry
mean,
teacher.
I think
Hold Bob. His name says chemistry in another language. I don't know which one, but another one.
I like
Right.
to see.
it is
Yeah.
funny because now the only person that I've like let me make it clear, I was rooting for Jacobs, but I really thought Canelo would win. Now it's funny because the only person that I would actually pick against Canelo at 160 is now the guy that Canelo has to go through to get all the infinities belts at
Oh
160.
no! Don't say
Oh.
Andre.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
18.
Oh,
I've been
I think
saying
he's
that
the
for a
only.
minute, man.
Come on. Listen. Most people thought that Canelo lost to Lara. So why are you like it's not out of the possibility that Andre could beat Lara. Sorry,
Like
that Andre
Lara
could beat
didn't duck Andre.
Canelo.
Well,
man, I
yeah.
just want to see Andre fight somebody worth a snot in the next year. You know,
Well, let's put this, with the Andre fight, because of what went down in the Jacobs Canelo fight. I mean, obviously the public response to it as it was a dull fight. So the people who pull the strings, the zone is going to be like, Canelo, we got to put him in with someone that will, try to sway that public opinion. So while Andre is probably the best fight for Canelo right now, we also have Triple G because. That's the reason why Triple G is there, and that's why the zone wants him, because eventually to get that third fight. So what's probably going to end up happening is Andre may, depending on how Andre looks against Selecki, Andre's going to have to actually put Selecki away. Else you can see the zone be like, okay, no, this is more exciting. Triple G and Canelo 3 again. They'll brawl, whatever.
Yeah,
Andre will probably end up
the shit out of Triple G this time.
But that's fine.
Sorry.
But that's fine because either way, if Canelo wants to be undisputed, he's got to go through Andre one way or another. So
and I said before, I don't think
I think
Canelo wants that fight with Andre. I really don't think he does.
I think
Why not?
Triple G would
he doesn't want to be undisputed.
I think Triple G would be a great tune-up fight for Andrade. Since-
That's disrespectful.
hold on. Since they've fought twice already and Triple G is like 39 or something like that, I mean, Canelo pretty much knows all his moves, pause, and then
I doubt that.
I know, Pat, you doubt that.
Man, give my boy Andre the chance, man. Get Andre in that ring.
I mean,
man.
like I said, this is the business. That's what we know about the business. I mean, we know the zone's going to actually pull this. Is it going to be Triple G if he knocks out Rolls, or is it going to be Andre if he doesn't knock out Selecki? You know how this is going to go.
Who was in the crowd in witness protection gear? Was it Andrade dressed like Q-Tip or Triple G dressed like that guy?
Nah, man. Andrade,
Triple G was there. They talked about Triple G in the post-fight. Triple G's going to be the next fight. Everyone knows that. Come on.
Man, Triple G has to do something to get that next fight, man.
I love Triple G, but I was just about to say that. Can he earn it?
Yeah, like I don't want to see him. And that's like seeing the Warriors versus the Cavs over and over and over again. Except for if the Warriors, the Cavs was just placed there. Like GGG ain't even going through the division to get back to the championship. He just
I know, and you
lose,
know that
fight a bum, I'm right back.
You know I don't believe in that bullshit, but it's what's gonna happen. They were saying Triple G Canelo 3 like 88 times.
Like I wouldn't even mad if GGG went out there and fought Andre himself and got the belt. Then I'd be like, all right, you know what I mean? But just to go straight back to GGG to
front of the line, right? Yeah. Because I don't think the interest is there immediately for a third fight at this very second. Like public perception wise, like it'll be announced
for a Canelo Andre fight.
Well, yeah, you know that.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, but you won't need that though.
It'll be a fresh match.
Andre's not gonna. When you talk about the business, Andre is not going to command the same payday as a GGG either. So you don't need the same public interest.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You can do that on a smaller scale.
That's the thing. Andre and Selecki in this fight with Selecki has to do something. This is probably gonna be like, okay, what are we gonna do to actually try to push the Canelo fight? What are you gonna do with Selecki? It can't be like his last two fights.
Man, he just fought Jacobs coming off Derevyachenko, man. He didn't do nothing at Derevyachenko to earn the Canelo fight.
Won a belt.
And he still got the belt.
Because he had a belt.
Right, and Andre has a belt. That's what I'm saying. So all he got to do is win. All you got to do is win. Khaled said it.
In terms of next Canelo fight, Andrade is 800 million times more deserving if they both win their next fight.
Then GGG?
Yeah, of course, Triple G.
No, I can't say that because GGG lost both of his fights by close decision. So I can't say if we racing and you beat me by a half a step the first time, and then the second time you beat me by one step, and then say that somebody else who's not even.
So news. Then next, do you call up Andrade Triple G?
Why not? That's not going to happen, but we would like to see it.
Hold up. Do you call up that fight, or does one of them get a golden ticket to fight Canelo?
No, I put GGG versus Andre.
Yeah, me too. Everyone else, what do you guys think? Sorry. But,
you called it a tune-up, though.
I'm being serious.
I like it it's the first matchup.
That's kind of disrespectful to call it a tune-up. I mean, it is what it is, though. I think you've had a little bit too much birthday cake.
Yeah, a lot.
Yo, here's the thing, P. It's someone in my orbit's birthday right now.
Man.
Man, I just
Go.
I would rather see Triple G Canelo 3, but you know what? I do like fresh matchups, and I would welcome Andre and Canelo just because it's a fresh matchup and it'll be for all the belts. You
Right. Or
undisputed,
GGG.
damn it.
Yeah. And then let GGG take that other fight and whatever, get him a couple fights, and get his knockout streak back going because we ain't seen him knock out nobody that's an actual middleweight in a few years.
Since
Get that back
Wade.
going.
Yo, who was the Australian cat?
Yeah, Dominic Wade was the last one.
And shout out to Dominic Wade for being the abuser of the century or the
Yo,
decade.
shout out. Yeah,
I hate women abusers.
yo.
That shit
Yeah,
corny.
for real. Yo, I hate women abusers just like news does. And domestic abuse, Dominic Wade got knocked the fuck out by Triple G. So congrats to Triple G for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fought the good fight at that time.
Yeah, I mean, he fighting some like trainer at the gym next fight, but
Yeah,
Did
man, I
any?
don't even like that pairing. Jonathan Banks.
do you
Oh
not?
yeah, speak on that, everybody. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't like that. I don't like that
Wait.
pairing.
Let Pat speak on it
I'm about to
first.
say
Yeah,
you
Pat,
act
how you feel? You feel comfortable with that?
I mean, I gotta see how it goes. I mean, Jonathan, I don't hate Jonathan Banks as a trainer, so I gotta see how this is gonna work.
Banks is a good trainer.
I mean, we ain't got no time to see how it works. He about to fight a bum, so he could train himself like David Shumanev and knock him out in the next fight, and then he gonna go right to Canelo. You want to go to Canelo with Jonathan Banks? I don't
I
know.
mean, Jonathan Banks is, he's descended from Emmanuel Stewart. So, I mean, I'm not. That's. I mean, I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to dismiss him. Like, I mean, I think I have. There's nothing wrong. I just got to see what he's actually going to do with Triple G style. I mean, he's either going to change it or it's going to end up being like a Teddy Atlas, Tim Bradley situation. And it's. I mean, it's either one or the other. I'm just waiting to see what fruits is going to bear from this. If Jonathan Banks will add a few wrinkles to Triple G's skill set, hey, perfect. See how it goes.
Which is hard because Triple G is old as fuck.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not feeling
Nah,
that. I'm not feeling that, man. I'm not feeling the pairing. I'm just not.
oh, okay, yeah. No, I was
Like
gonna
I said, we just have to see how it goes. I mean, it's not like
so Jonathan Banks. I mean, he did well with a developed Vlad that is a 1-2, and then every once in a while left hook fighter. And Triple G has a good left hook, but I mean, and he has a decent uppercut. But if he stuck to the 1-2 most of the time, he'd probably be a lot better fighter. Except, he's not as good or has the same geometrical advantages that Vladimir Klitschko did. So it should be interesting. I think we'll see Triple G end up actually getting caught with more punches, specifically uppercuts and left hooks to the body. But that's just my take.
Oh no, he is because Jonathan Banks already was talking about he think GGG needs to be more active and throw more punches.
Yeah,
So all that's
one,
going to do is, and he
one,
didn't even have the best defense already with the style he was using. So if he's going to open up like that, he's really
yeah.
going to
I
get
mean,
taken
it's
apart by
crazy
Canelo, in my
because
opinion.
really, the name for the rest of Triple G's career and Pat. This is actually said with no hate, and
you're just gonna say something stupid, Smoke. So go ahead.
is Triple G winning his Canelo, and so he needs to do everything that he can to devise a plan to win versus Canelo. And I don't know if Jonathan Banks does that outside of increasing his activity to like 112 punches around because Triple G is openly susceptible to the left hook, to the body, to the head, and the left uppercut. Not to mention him the right cross. So it's kind of like that's what I see. You know?
It just sounds like you just basically what he said is GGG with Jonathan Banks is going to be open to get his ass whooped.
By
Pretty
who?
much. That's what it
By
sounded
who?
like to me.
By
He said
who?
he's going to be open for this, open for that, open for this.
By Canelo, who's the number one pound for pound fighter.
Definitely going to take him apart. GGG going to really be looking bad. We thought he looked like the Street Fighter in the Do You Want to Continue Scream before. That was with Abel Sanchez.
Oh, so that's the thing. And Pat, this is why I'm trying to have a conversation with you. Like,
Trying to have a conversation with
when he gets hit, when he gets hit to the body, he doesn't drop his elbows to protect his body, and that's something that should be instinctual. I mean, do you disagree with me?
We saying a lot about Triple G deficiencies, but
Okay, how many times if Triple G gets hit so much times, how many times has Triple G hit the canvas? How many times has Triple G has even been wobbled?
Yo,
None of these things have happened. So I'm trying to understand, like, he's not getting hit to the point, like, if he was getting hit like that, you would think a knockdown or he would have been wobbled by now, because Triple G has faced punchers in that division.
Yo,
I'm just trying to understand why you think he's going to get lit up all
I'm
of a
making
sudden.
it seem like my dog about to get Amir Khan out in this bitch.
Okay, so
It makes no fucking sense. If he's getting hit so much, he should have more than that one disputed loss that he has.
Right, and I'm about to say he's still
So,
right.
That's all this. He's getting hit to the body. Every fighter gets hit to the fucking body. Tim Bradley got hit to the body. He was fucking bleeding from getting hit to the body. Every fighter gets hit to the body. I'm trying to understand how does if Triple G gets hit so much, how does he only have one disputed loss?
So
all I'm gonna say is this. I'm gonna say this.
Has never been stopped. That's what I'm saying. This is just a whole bunch of, he's getting hit to the body. He's susceptible to the uppercut. He has not touched the canvas yet. He has not been wobbled. I just don't understand. This is a whole bunch of what is. And contrast to is actually
how about this? So if the only person in his weight class,
I mean, even Canelo wobbled.
Yo, hold up.
Fighter. That's the problem. Canelo's been wobbled plenty of times. Yeah, and that's what I'm just trying to understand. If he's getting, and Canelo's supposed to be this defensive whiz. Floyd tattooed his name on his face.
Oh no, man, we can't go back in the days to disrespect. We can't go back 7 years.
Canelo had a pass over his eyebrow from Triple G in the second fight. He didn't escape that fight unscathed. What people keep on saying, like, he had a big ass cut over his eye. I don't understand why people think Canelo, is doing this, but Triple G doesn't make a
moderator, you gotta get in and cut this shit the fuck off. Sorry.
I know I gotta let him get on, Smoke. No, Smoke, because you was on Triple G neck though, so I had to let my dog get. He had to let him speak back.
Not even doing that. If the one fighter that your entire career is based upon is a body puncher, especially a counter body puncher, then what do you think you should defend against, Pat? Seriously. Canelo versus Triple G. Let's be real. Canelo doesn't have many other, problems, and he doesn't have significant problems with Triple G except for stamina. But he consistently.
Shit, I've seen Triple G was snapping his head back in both of their fights. Like he wasn't getting caught in this shit now.
Triple G was wobbling. Triple G even wobbled Canelo in that second fight. So I'm just trying to understand why you think Canelo did did Triple G like Floyd did Canelo. I don't understand it. The fights were close. The first fight should have been Triple G victory. The second fight was a 1-point victory on 2 judges' cards. I don't understand what schooling happened. It was a slugfest, that I thought Triple G actually won, but they both tore each other up. That's what I'm trying to say. There was no skill. Like, Canelo has never separated himself for any of his victories, any of his elite victories that people keep on mentioning. The only separation he's had against elite fighters is Floyd separating him from his zero. You know what I'm saying? You know, so
So anyway, I mean, back to what we were talking about.
Well, quickly, because
I said,
we're at the end. We're actually at the end.
we at the end.
I mean, edit the last 10 minutes out because that's some bullshit.
Nah. See that?
It sounds some fuck shit. We don't even get a chance to talk about it. I mean, you know.
Well, you went on Triple G first, though.
No, it's not even about that. Like, I'm talking about this shit from a serious boxing perspective.
You're
Ain't
high
no
as shit.
way.
Let serious boxing perspective. You're out there. You're
I'ma
high
just
on
say-
I'm
All
telling
right.
you what it is.
All right. All right. News, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm gonna just say one thing, and we got to wrap it up because it is the end of the fade hour. But I'm just not impressed with Jonathan Banks being a trainer, man. Like, I understand that he took over for Emmanuel Stewart. Rest in peace, Emmanuel Stewart. But he kind of didn't really have to do much. Like, he got Klitschko through like the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins of his 10-year undefeated streak. The last 3 years, but the opponents what's it got? Wash, Panetta, Povetkin, Lepai, Pula, and Jennings. Like, and I was never really impressed with how Klitschko was fighting because it looked ugly during that time. I know we all remember how bad Klitschko had the heavyweight division looking during that time. So it just seemed like not Jonathan Banks, but GGG, aka Scrooge McDuck, was trying to keep them pennies in this piggy bank, and hired the cheapest trainer. I used to do that. I do that on 2K. If there's a low coach available, I'll spend a little bit of my VC on him and keep the rest of in my pocket. So that's how I feel GGG is doing. He's self-contained. Jonathan Banks ain't gonna do nothing with GGG, man. We're not going to see a new and improved. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, and GGG is at the end of his career. So I don't see that being a good pairing. But we'll see, though. So I can be wrong for sure. But yeah, let's wrap it up, y'all.
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it up. I guess everybody go around and say what they got to say.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Smoke from at Free Smoke Boxing. And just how at the fade hour this week, you'll get to see all of us and just tune in.
Yes, sir.
What up, yo? It's Pat Scorpion, the New England representative. And, like I said, as long as y'all keep loving Pat Scorpio keeps loving y'all. But, you can find me at Ring Gang Radio. You can find me on my Instagram. Big up Pat Scorpio. I can never remember which one I use for it. So, yeah, that's all I got to say, man. Love, peace, and soul.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Pete. You already know where you can find me on Instagram, at Twitter, at Bodega Boxing. Holla at me.
News.
All right, y'all. I thought Maul was gonna give a shout out for his stuff.
Yeah, definitely, man. You know what? I normally don't, but yeah, nah, man. This me, the host, the Golden Voice. Also follow my other business beer page I got on Instagram, 904 Shades of Hops with a Z at the end. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to bring some diversity. I'm trying to get some minority people to understand craft beers for y'all too here in the Jacksonville area.
Hey.
That's all I got to say, man. I'm going ahead and let News and then, go ahead and wrap this up.
Oh, no, that's cool, man. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. It's your boy News, representing Ringside Rave all day. Another beautiful episode of the Fade Hour, number 46, The Fighter versus the Fan. Hey, man, y'all stay tuned. Hit that notifications button, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Spotify. We're also on there. Or catch us on Twitter. And, 10 p.m. Eastern time, look for us. If you got your drinks, kick back, kick your feet up, listen to the fellas talk. And, you can also come in the chat, talk to us. We'll definitely, if you guys speak to us in the chat, I'm going to make sure that we talk to y'all on air, and get a little fan interaction from now on. So with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. I'd like to have my fellas for having a drink with me. And we out.
One.
One.